Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dustin Steiner with our continuing coverage of Capcom Cup 2014. I'm here with Snake Eyez just after he was eliminated by NuckleDu in a very, very close set. It's a heartbreaker, but I'm here with him to get his reactions on exactly what happened. So why don't you first walk me through your match with Momochi and then with NuckleDu.
Well, first off, I started playing against Momochi. He picked Ken, which was pretty surprising since over at Wednesday Night Fights, I always play against Ken player, and I figured I would know the matchup pretty well. But I guess
sorry to interrupt. That you're talking about Chris Tatarian, right? I think it's a little bit of a different tier, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty different. Momochi, I think he played the matchup pretty well. That was actually my first match, and considering the tournament format and the amount of players, it's just really scary. Just every single button, like you feel the risk and reward in it, and I guess I just wasn't able to like warm up and adapt in time for that match. And also against NuckleDu, that was his first time beating me in tournament.
Yeah. No, I know. Like the fight facts that had popped up before was you had beaten him 2-0, and so like for him to even beat you was pretty surprising. Yeah. Go ahead though.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I felt like he made some minor adjustments, but I gotta admit I was a little nervous. Yeah. Like when you play with a character like Zangief, who excels at doing lots of damage when he gets in, at certain times you just want to get in really bad. And so sometimes you just have to stay patient and just stick with what you know instead of going into just doing like random things like how I was doing. But overall it was a pretty nice experience that I might be able to take with me later on to other tournaments.
So how did you prepare for Capcom Cup?
I actually played against an Akuma player that I know named Foru. I played him a few times, or actually a lot of times. And I probably played him way too many times because that's one specific character, and none of those, nobody here plays Akuma except for Infiltration, and he's on the opposite side of the bracket. So that probably wasn't a good idea to do that. I guess what I should have did was just warm up right before. I should have just played like in the lobby that they have us in, and just kind of do my combos and make sure my execution and setups are on point.
Yeah, you were also running some cold hands there coming in. Right. Yeah, because I remember you were talking to me about it, and you forgot you don't have hand warmers.
That's what I need. Yeah. That's the problem when you play on a controller instead of an arcade stick. Yeah. On an arcade stick, you rely more on like your hands being stiff and pressing the buttons. But when you're playing on controller, you actually need your hands to be able to move. And when you're cold, you're able to feel yourself pressing the buttons, but you don't get that like satisfaction. Yeah, you don't really feel it. So that really threw me off like big time. Yeah, next time I'll just get hand warmers or something.
So do you feel like that actually did affect you in your first match?
Oh yeah, big time. Like I dropped a bunch of option selects. I even released a focus attack like mid-screen without backdashing out of it. And I was just like, oh man, I need to like rub my hands together or do something to warm them up, Yes. At that point, it was already too late. But after that match, my hands ended up warming up. So I was like, whatever.
Oh, right on. Who do you think's gonna win this tournament now that you're knocked out?
I feel like Daigo's playing really good right now. He's had so much experience playing against all of these players at the Topanga League. Yeah. I heard he was like 31-1 or something. Like he only lost once. Yeah, so I mean he has like a lot of momentum going on right now, and not to mention his skill and then his character. All of those factor in when it comes to winning. But also feel like Fudo, for some reason, it's just he's such a good player, and his character is good, but he has that confidence factor. He's been to a lot of tournaments, and his opponent is probably more nervous than he is most of the time. Yeah. So that's one thing he can bank on, and yeah, man, that's just how it is.
Okay. Right on. So, of the other people that were knocked out first round, it was you, Justin Wong, Shushu, and
That's it.
yeah, was it?
For now, yeah.
Wasn't there one more?
Me, Justin Wong, and Choo.
Shushu, and then there was one more, but I can't remember. Nishikin, right. Of those four, who were you the most surprised at being knocked out? I mean, aside from yourself.
Well, I didn't really know about Choo Choo at all until I saw him. And then Nick Blanc is really non-solid character.
Right.
He can be solid in certain matchups, but with the characters we have here, he doesn't do too well. Right. But Rose, I heard that's favorable, but as I watched the matchup, I felt like that's kind of questionable.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm most surprised at Justin being knocked out. Although his first match was Daigo, I still feel like he can put in some kind of work in that matchup. And it's Justin. You can never count the guy out.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you were surprised that Valmaster was able to take out Justin then?
I was actually really surprised.
Yeah.
I've never really watched Valmaster play before.
Right.
I feel like he might. I guess he's the best Chun-Li statistically. Yeah, because I was talking to Justin before that match, and he was telling me that the matchup is 5-5.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. So and then Justin, he was just so nervous. Like top players, we have these fans. We have like a lot of fans, and the fans want us to do good. And so while we're playing, we're thinking about that, thinking about how good we're going to perform, and then we end up overthinking it.
Right.
And then we
kind of psych yourself out.
Yeah.
Well, what's next for you? Are you heading to Hadouken tomorrow?
You know what? The way Capcom has my flight set up, they have me leaving tomorrow in the morning. Yeah, so I won't be able to make Hadouken. I would like to go, but my next tournament should be Canada Cup Master Series.
Yeah. Oh, that should be a great tournament.
Yeah, I'll be ready for that. A little more than I'll use the momentum from this and apply it to that.
Oh, great. Well, do you have any closing words or shout-outs to give to your fans out there?
Yeah, shout-outs to all my fans. Shout-outs to most of the esports companies looking at the FGC players. I'm glad they're dipping in a new territory.
You throwing your name out there? Are you trying to? You saying, hey, why don't you throw me some money? I'll play for you. I promise I won't go 0-2 though.
Well, see, this is a special occasion.
Okay. All right.
Shout outs to Wednesday Night Fights. That's pretty much like where I grew up at. That's where I've learned all my techniques. And
speaking of Wednesday Night Fights, real fast before we go, what's your opinion on WNF versus Wednesday Night Fizzites as it's called now?
I think Wednesday Night Fizzites is a pretty funny name, to be honest. But I understand the reason why they did that. They have shirts that they made, and they kind of didn't want to change the name. It would kind of be a hassle to change the shirt designs.
Right.
And I mean, Wednesday Night Fights doesn't sound all that bad. Yeah. So I think it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, do you like it under Watts versus under Valle?
Oh, you know what? I can barely tell the difference between those. You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess we lost some unique sponsors, but overall, it kind of still feels the same.
Okay. Well, carry on with your shout-outs. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah. So, shout-outs to the esports teams. I'm glad the FGC is where it is right now. I mean, I can think 10 years ago, nobody was really no U.S. players were really sponsored. And it's hard for most people to see the progression in the FGC, but if you just really look at it the way I'm looking at it, it's getting pretty big. We're in the opera theater right now. Yeah, so it's pretty sick.
Right on. Any other shout-outs?
Shout-outs to Red Bull. Yeah, shout-outs to Cloud9. Shout-outs to Team Curse. Okay. Yeah, shout-outs.
It's Snake Eyez wish list. I hope you guys are watching, because this guy's somebody to watch. All right, he's not going anywhere. All right. So anyway, we're gonna let everybody get back to what they were doing before. So just go ahead and follow me at Get Steinerd. Follow Snake Eyez at Snake_Eyes with another underscore. Yeah. You really should consider changing that.
I probably should.
Yeah, a little bit.
_Eyes_.
Or maybe Dragon Eyes.
Yeah.
You do Dragon Eyes?
Actually,
yeah. People like calling you that anyway. So Anyway, and then just follow us at Esports Max. Be sure to stay tuned for the rest of our Capcom Cup 2014 coverage. And I'll catch you guys next time.